Ingrid, you got the job done into your first 100-meter back long course final. Describe how this feels.
Quite exciting. I mean, as you could probably tell this morning, it's quite anxious and nervous, especially after I ripped that suit. My heart rate was skyrocketing. Took my time getting this one on was a little bit easier tonight. I think I started getting ready like 20 minutes earlier just because I was like, no chance of that tonight. So I was definitely feeling a bit more confident going into finals than I was prelims. And I'm actually quite happy with that time and really glad I earned a spot in the finals today.
You're such a breath of fresh air, and you were so vulnerable this morning about talking about this pressure.
Yeah.
How did you get it right?
Honestly, it is an ongoing battle, always is. Most likely always will be. But I've got a lot of people in the pit and then at home texting me, just sending me funny videos or just telling me funny jokes just to get my mind off of the race because I'm up here a lot. And so just having a laugh and even doing small, oh, job Maggie! Sorry, just so that, sorry for yelling. Even just something small, like one trick I like to do is just like kiss the block just to make myself smile one last time before I race, and then focusing in really helps me.
Really quickly, you say you're getting texts from people back home. Here's your chance to say something to them.
Thank you. Keep sending me funny videos. Even if you don't know me, you can send them to me. I love them.
Congratulations, Ingrid. Looking forward to see you race in the final.
Thank you.
Maddie Harris will be the first one we see from Great Britain. Obviously pretty tickled to watch her country teammates win gold and silver in that medal ceremony. She's from Wales as well, so she knows Matt Richards very well. Bronze in this race at the Commonwealth Games. Wan Li-Tan will have lane number 1, 18 years of age. She was 4th in this race, just missed the podium last year at the World Championships, but was not at the Olympic Games. Canada's Ingrid Wilm from Canada, lane number 7, 25 years of age, 6'2" tall from Calgary. Persistence paid off for this young woman. She did not make any teams for Canada until she hit her mid-20s. A new national record for France by this woman, Pauline Maheu, 24 years of age. That record was 16 years old, set by Lauren Manadou, one of the great swimmers in French history. Kylie Maas, 27 years of age, a late bloomer. We've talked about it. She wasn't ranked very high in the world as a teenager, but now she is. 4 Olympic medals to her credit. She said, I was so happy to see the whole team again because after the change, when the center changed focus, most of the swimmers were away after spending 2 years during COVID all training together, so it's great to see everybody. Catherine Burkhoff in lane number 3. Her father was an Olympic medalist and a world record holder in this exact event way back in the 80s. Kayla McEwen from Australia, 22 years of age from Brisbane, was disqualified in the 200 IM yesterday when she could have had a chance for a medal. She said, I had a bit of a cry, but I have to move forward and I have to get after this race. Many people have said that between her, Regan Smith, and Kylie Maas, the world record should drop in this race.
So we should say, as we meet Regan Smith, she had all 6 of the fastest times in the world last year. She and Kaylee McEwen own the 7 fastest times in the world this year. The race for gold should be in the middle of the pool, but the likes of Kylie Maas and Catherine Burkhoff should have something to say about it. Burkhoff was just under half a second faster than Maas in the semifinals.
This is a very big test for Regan Smith in lane number 4. She was unstoppable in 2019 with world records, and then 2020 COVID delayed the Olympics, and she really sort of fell apart in 2021. Got to the podium a few times, but not to the level that she thought. So she's made some real big changes in her life, and let's see if it pays off.
Take your marks.
Biggest race of her life for Ingrid Wilm of Canada in lane 7. Kylie Maas, the 2-time world champion, in lane 6. Regan Smith is in 4, Kaylee McEwen in 5, the Olympic champion. And this is a quick start.
Really nothing in it right now. You do have the 2 favorites probably slightly ahead. Kylie Maas, I would argue, is probably right with Ingrid Wilm in about 4th spot. Now you got the American 3 from the top trying to get in there. Very, very tight field at this point. McEwen is the better back half swimmer, the Australian, so we'll have to see. She was right there with the others. She's the best at the back end. We'll see. Good underwater work by Regan Smith. Pulled away from the field. The other Americans pulled away from Kylie Moss. Moss now back in 4th spot.
Indeed, Kylie Moss in 4th, trying to chase down Burkhoff, trying to chase down a medal. But right now, Kaylee McEwen and Regan Smith are battling for gold. The Australian with a slight lead. It looks like McEwen is going to get there for gold in 57.53, a championship record. Smith and Burkhoff silver, bronze, and it looked like Kylie Moss is in bronze, 4th place behind the bronze medalist Burkhoff.
Well, we mentioned that McEwen's better at the back end of the race, and that definitely is what happened there. They went to the 50-meter almost identical, and Regan Smith just didn't have that back half swim, which is pretty interesting because Regan Smith's been going so fast all year and didn't really hit the taper really well because she didn't really drop any time compared to McEwen, who's been going pretty fast all year too, but that's still a little bit faster. Off the blocks, very quick, underwater dolphin kick. The underwater dolphin kick was started by Burkhoff, the woman who won the bronze medal, by her father way back in 1987-88. And then it got to the point where they were actually going 40 meters underwater, and they eventually had to cut it back in 1990 to be only 15 meters underwater. Around very quick. Look at that. Virtually identical in and out of the wall. Notice how deep McEwen goes. A little bit deeper than Regan Smith because she stays under a little bit longer and was able to pick up just a little bit. And then the last 15 meters, keep the turnover going. Notice how quickly these women are still turning over. On the far right, you can see Kylie Moss, and she's got no kick, no legs right there. She really ran out of gas. So that's something that she's got to work on with her coach, Ben Titley. Her legs just aren't giving her what she needs to be able to compete with these top 2 women in the world.
So Kaylee McEwen, the world.
How are you feeling?
Pretty good. I do wish I had a bit of a faster time, but I entered 5th to begin with this meet and getting 5th. Very, very happy. First 100 back done. Now just going to reset and focus on the 50 tomorrow. Try to reset any expectations. Well, first, try to get a good sleep tonight. Swimming at 8 p.m. is not really good for the REM cycle.
Ingrid, Canadians are loving you. Of course, our conversation yesterday and how revealing you were, bringing us into your journey, has really resonated with a lot of people. What have you been hearing?
You know, you've made me so popular, Devin. I got so many funny videos, and I wanted to say thank you to those that did those. That was so nice, and I love to see it. And it's also really nice to see that so many Canadians are supporting us from home. So it's just more like visible evidence of that. So that made me feel quite good to feel that supported.
Last question: if the nerves were at an all-time high, and you said it's hard to be brave, where are you at now after three races here?
I will ask me again tomorrow morning. Right after the race, I'm like, oh, done. But by the 50 back, my heart rate will be like 200 again. I will say, each race, you get to know where your body is and how you're feeling a little bit better. So it is easier to try to know what to expect from yourself in that race. So a little less of the unknown, and that does make it a little bit easier, I would say.
Well done, Ingrid. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, thank you.